Alright, so what's up, my people? So I'm just going to do a little bit of explanation video on the system that I'm using, that I've developed. So maybe it'll help some people. Now my reactor itself, I need to rebuild here soon. This reactor and reactor core and all that I've been using has been seen quite a bit of use. I've had this on this truck for 7,000 miles now, and it's doing fine. Yeah, no, I have. You see the wiring is a little bit janky. You know what I'm saying? I just now rewired it to where it can turn on and off with the ignition, so I ain't got to worry about coming out here and unplugging it or nothing like that. Now, what I'm going to try to do whenever I'm trying to perfect the system, you know what I'm saying? And to do that, it's all trial and error. But pretty much all these are, I don't think you can see into that one down there. The reactor is just, I got these 6-inch stainless steel rods, 4 of them from Lowe's. That's what I made the rods of. And the plates are just made out of 2-inch washers. Then on one side I drilled a hole that's just big enough for them to feed through, and then one where there's big enough to where you can put some nylon washers to keep it from connecting to that side of the rod. And so you'd use a positive negative pattern to it, you know what I'm saying? One plate's positive, but I read up a lot, and like I said, I wish you could see into it, but I know you can't. But down here in the bottom are 4 connected plates, 2 positive, 2 negative. There's 2 neutral plates in between each one. So what that's doing is I wanted to make sure that I'm not overdrawing the volts. You know what I'm saying? Because that's too much heat. Voltage is just heat. You know what I'm saying? So I got a 30 amp circuit breaker right here. This is also 30 amp. So that's 60, and I got 30 amps in the cab there. So whenever it's running, that alternator is giving off about 90 amps. So it can utilize that. You want more amps, less voltage, but to get a current to go through there, sometimes you got up the voltage. Now this is where it comes in handy to use a 3-to-1 ratio of water and urea. Yes, I said urea, as in your fucking piss. Your piss has nitrogen in it, okay? All right, so not only is this splitting hydrogen and oxygen from the water, but now that you add your piss to it, it's splitting nitrogen also. And your piss is already conductive. So if you use a 3-to-1 ratio of water to urea and use only about a 10% grade of potassium hydroxide or sodium hydroxide to the water, you're going to be able to pull the same efficiency you would get out of a regular electrolyzer, only using 70% of the energy. And you're also, because of the nitrogen, running about 30% cooler. So, but pretty much once you know how to make one of these, that's the big part. Now here's where, you know what I'm saying, I could have ran it to the intake here. You know what I'm saying? It would have been better and more efficiency if I ran to the intake, but I would have to make a couple different changes to the throttle body, and I didn't want to do that. So I wanted it to come by the ignition chambers, you know what I'm saying, for each one. So vacuum lines are what controls the oxygen, you know, going into there. So you check this vacuum line right here. This one happens to be for the brake system, for the brake booster here, and it's running right by the same ignition points that you need to. Now, this is another janky part that I'm going to perfect here soon. I'm actually going to come off of this with a different nozzle setup, but right now this is set up with I got an air hose right here. I got a valve right here to turn it on and off. But whenever this is running, this is pulling at least 12 inches of vacuum on the system. So the more that hydrogen can escape, the faster it can make more hydrogen. So when running this, what a solution I got in here is a little bit weak. I need to come up with a little bit stronger of a solution. I think that would go without overdoing the circuit breakers, but still delivering the power I need. I need to come up with a little bit more of the electrolyte solution for that. But I'll show y'all this. see if I can get it in here to where y'all can see good. If not, works when you turn on and off the ignition. You'll start to hear it in a second. There it goes. Oh. Turn off the system. Simply gotta just turn off the ignition, and that does away with having to deal with worrying about whether or not, yeah, you're good, whether or not you disconnected and reconnected the system.